finally arrived. This is the Tilta cage for the Sony FX3. I pre-ordered this cage probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I've been finding creative ways to rig out the FX3 in the meantime, but finally the solution has arrived. So let's go ahead and go through everything, and then we'll rig up the camera and take it out for a shoot. Hey guys, Valencia here, back with another Sony FX3 video, and in this video we're gonna rig out the FX3 on this new Tilta cage here. And I did order this from Tilta's website. I pre-ordered it. They're actually available now if you want to order one. They have them in black and gray. I ordered the black version, but I'll leave links to everything down in the description below if you're interested in picking one up for yourself. But without further ado, let's jump into the box, because we all know that Tilta has awesome packaging, because if you see my older videos with the Nucleus Nano, that Tilta makes awesome products, really high quality products. So I can't wait to get this cage put on. So let's jump in. Here is the actual cage itself. Really nice. All right, so there's the cage. What else do we have in here? There are 3 bags in here with different accessories and the manual. All right, so this is everything that it comes with. I did also order the HDMI cable clamp that's made specifically for this cage. It is a separate order on Tilta's website, but this was a separate part here. So I'll leave that there. But everything else here it came with, so we have this Manfrotto style base plate here. It has 2 screws on it for connecting into the bottom of the cage. And I believe this is made for those Tilta 15mm rod base plates that they have. Next, we have the top plate for the cage. This is awesome because it has dual Nato rails built in, as well as a cold shoe and a couple different mounting points, and it actually screws directly into the camera through these 2 screw holes where you normally put the audio handle. So there's the top, the cage itself, and in this other little pouch here you have a really cool magnetic tool made by Tilta. And it also came with the mounting hardware for mounting to the sides of the camera. So if you wondered what all these little screw holes in the side for accessories on the FX3 are for, but you're thinking like, oh, that screw hole in the side there doesn't make any sense. Well, now it does, because it's for mounting the cage to the camera. And lastly, this is the HDMI cable clamp. This is a separate ordered item, but it is super necessary if you like to make sure that your cable doesn't get yanked out, especially if you're recording on a Ninja recorder like this. So let's go ahead and get it installed on the camera now. Another feature that actually protects your camera a little bit more is where the cage connects to the camera in multiple places. It has these little rubber grommets here for protecting your camera so it doesn't have any wear and tear damage from the cage itself. And there's one on both sides. There's actually a little rubber padding here on this side as well, and on the bottom plate here. So you can use this magnetic tool here for screwing in, you know, the bottom of your cage here, or the different screws on the side here. And this is where it'll mount on the side of your cage right here. There we go, camera's on. And we'll use our Tilta screwdriver here. And now for the left side, install the screw on the left side here. Screw it in. All right, on the other side here, drop in our other screw. Now we have 3 mounting points where this cage is locked onto our camera. We have the bottom and both sides. So one of the reasons I got this cage is for this modularity. You can use the XLR handle that comes with the cage if you take this off, or you can use your own handle and accessories if you put this on. Also, the sides of this cage come off as well, so you can use it just as an L or like a half cage. So 3 components. You have a left side, a right side, and the top. So let's go ahead and put the top part on. So you just use the 2 screw holes that are here made for the audio handle. So obviously you lose the cold shoe right here, but you gain another one here, and another one here at the bottom. So a nice feature that actually keeps this HDMI clamp in, opposed to some of the other HDMI clamps, is this one has a little locating pin here, and as you can see, it's a second contact point that goes into the camera that just always stays in there. And then you screw in your Allen key here, and you have 2 points of contact for your HDMI connection. So they redesigned the HDMI cable clamp here. As you can see, now you tighten it with an Allen key instead, which some people may find annoying because you don't have your little thumb screw anymore. But that's because the way that they designed this camera now, it has the doors that open up, and it would open up right into the thumb screw here. So if you want to use your headphone jack or your microphone jack, this cable clamp wouldn't work at the same time. So they designed it in a way that sits perfectly flush like this. So as you can see, the door is able to open completely and unobstructed. And then whenever you want to lock your cable in, you'll know for sure that it's locked in because you're actually going to be clamping it in like this. All right, so once you get your HDMI cable clamp nice and tight, check this out. Don't try this at home, by the way, but look at that. It's not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about your cable getting yanked out or something like that. So this is a really, really awesome accessory, and I highly recommend adding it onto your cage at the very minimum. If you're only gonna add one thing besides the cage to it, get this cable clamp because it's awesome. And if you do not screw in the bolt on this side, you have the option of removing this side with the included hex key here. And once you remove those two bolts, you can actually remove this side completely and go with a half cage here, like an L bracket, or you can keep this on or off or whatever you prefer. Or alternatively, you can just go with this piece here by attaching it with the bolt right here. Although it's not going to be quite as sturdy, and it may slip around with just the one connection point here, because this side actually has 2 connection points still on it. All right, so at this point, you're ready to remove the hand strap from the side of your cage and get it mounted on a gimbal. Well, there's a couple really cool features that are built into the cage that you might find interesting and make it a little bit easier to mount directly onto your gimbal. This Tilta cage, in a way, is made for gimbals because at the bottom here, it has this Arca quick release plate. So if you're using Arca quick release tripods or anything like that, or you have the Ronin-S and SC2, you can just quickly snap the plate right onto your camera. Like I made this modified RS2 plate just using a small rig Arca Swiss adapter. These are like $30. You just connect this right onto the plate, just like that. And as you can see, all you have to do is slide this on and screw it in, and there you go. And to release it, all you have to do is simply release that and your camera can come right off. Or like here's another example with just like a little ball head. You just slide it on and screw it in, and there you go. So it also came with this Manfrotto style quick release plate, but I can't get this thing to connect to any of my Manfrotto quick release plates like this, or my Manfrotto tripod or anything. So to compare it to a traditional Manfrotto plate, yeah, it looks the same, but this little peg in the back is a little bit different. So it doesn't match up quite the same, and it just doesn't go on there quite right. Even though it looks like it would here, and they almost look like the same shape and everything, I can't get this to go on anything. So if you guys know, leave me a comment below how to connect these. So it seems like it's specifically made, it's a Manfrotto style plate, but I feel like this is just made for the other Tilta accessories. So if I end up getting those, I'll show you guys how to use this. But for now, I'm gonna throw this back in the box and forget about it. So we're gonna keep rigging out the camera, and at this point you have the choice of connecting your own handle or the XLR audio module if you remove the top plate here. So it depends on how you're trying to rig out your camera and what microphone setup you have, because you have a lot of cold shoes here as well. There's one here, and there's one on the side. But if you connect this audio module here, you actually lose the cold shoe here, so you'd have to find another way to attach it. Like I have one on the back of the audio handle here, but I'm sure there's other ways to connect them as well. By the way, I do have another video explaining everything about this XLR audio module as well. If you're interested in checking out that video, I'll leave links to it in the description below and in the card right here. All right, so you could use the cold shoes here to connect whatever you like a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, or you know, your lavalier clip. You can clip it here or here, or you can connect it to the one down here even. But of course, that's if your camera's rigged out or something and you need this cold shoe option here. It's there as well for you. But me personally, I'm gonna be using this small rig handle I have here. And now with this handle, that opens up several more mounting options, and it just goes from here. Next up, I have this Nato monitor mount from Small Rig as well, with the area locating pins on it. So that I'm actually just gonna screw right into the front of the handle here, and I'll show you why. So I do have the Small Rig cage for the Atomos Ninja 5 as well, which has Nato rails built in. Kind of like this cage has built-in Arca Swiss plates at the bottom. So that just clips on right there. And now I'm super front heavy. So let's go ahead and pop the lens on too. Let's pop on this Sigma 14 to 24. I also have the Small Rig sun hood for this cage as well. This is such a great design. There we go, there's that. And I have an HDMI cable clamp on the side of this cage as well. If you're gonna be doing any recording through your FX3 through the HDMI cable, it's a great idea to invest in these HDMI cable clamps, because you don't wanna get a corrupted file on your Ninja 5 or unplug it and lose the footage altogether or something like that, and you miss an important moment whenever you're on a paid job. So these HDMI cable clamps could save you. So this is a great way to shoot if you don't need sound. But if you do need sound and you want to use your own monitor and handle like this, if you have a large mic like the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus and you want to connect to this shoe mount here, you'll see you don't have enough clearance. So let's see what I could do here. So I could connect the monitor back here a little bit farther and then move this up to the front if I need a microphone here in the back. All right, so there is another option. So if I need the microphone up front, I have that up there, the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. I have my Atomos Ninja recorder here in the middle, and I'm still able to fully use the handle here as well. So this is another functionality way I could do it. It's a little more crammed, as you can see. I don't have a lot of space here, and the battery, depending on what size battery you have, could bump against your microphone and cause some unwanted sound. All right, so let's look at another option. So let's say we have to get it mounted here. We have to get our microphone put on right here on top of the cage. And this is where it needs to be. So there's that. Next, I got a different Small Rig arm that we can attach here with a Nato clamp and a 1/4 20 thread on this side. This is an articulating ball head arm. And if you guys are interested in picking this stuff up, I'll link it below. So there's that. And next we can just simply slide our monitor on the top here. So there you go. Now you can have your microphone mounted to the camera or the cage itself, and you also have the handle, you have your monitor mount, and you're still able to use the handle. Of course, it's a little more crowded now with a monitor mount on here, but you can maneuver this any way you want. Like if I need to get my whole hand on there, of course I can just adjust it like this, and I can actually grip the entire handle just like that. So this hand strap here is fully adjustable, so you can get it however tight you like it and get it to fit your size hand. And it also is removable if you want to remove it, but it has a nice moisture wicking material on the inside right here. So when your hand starts getting real sweaty, which it will if you're outdoors in Florida filming like I am, this hand will get sweaty super quick. So having this nice little moisture wicking material will be nice on your hand, won't be all soggy. And look at this. So with this extra big grip on the FX3 paired up with this hand strap and everything, like I'm able to hold this up with no problem at all. And it takes a lot of the strain off my wrist just having this extra, you know, I can have the weight up here on top of my hand as opposed to mostly on my wrist. So this hand strap is great. All right, on to the next configuration. So we'll start taking off this top plate and get ready to install the XLR handle. So as fast as you can undo these screws and screw in the next ones, you have your top handle on. So it just takes a quick second, and it really just depends on how fast your fingers work. So there you go, and we're on. All right, next we can hook up our phantom powered microphone here to the microphone holder. This is a Sony microphone, and I'll just connect it here into the XLR port, input 1. All right, and then you can connect your 3.5mm jack into the port here at the top, or you can use one of these XLR to 3.5mm adapters like this. Okay, so continuing on, now we can add our monitor on here and clamp it down, and there we go. And now this is another configuration you could have with the XLR top handle while using 3/4 of this full cage, just by removing the Tilta top plate. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up getting this cage, is because you have the versatility to have the full cage around the whole camera, or you can connect Nato rail on top and use your own handle, or you can even remove that and use the XLR module here and get professional audio running into your camera. So just a lot of different flexibility and options you have with this cage are one of the many reasons why I got it. All right guys, thanks for sticking around and checking out this new Tilta cage for the Sony FX3. If this video helped you out, be sure to hit that like button and leave me a comment down below if you have questions about anything you've seen here today. Subscribe for more FX3 and filmmaking gear tips and tutorials just like this one. Shoot for the stars, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.